Here.
Clute,
Here.
Gregg,
Here.
Harvey,
Here.
Mayor Robish.
Present. Please join me for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We'll move on to the agenda approval. I have a couple of additions I would like to say here. Under consent agenda 6.3.2, we have a wage correction for Damon Winiger at the Gulf Maintenance. And under departmental items, we have 10.3 capital asset for the fire department. Is there anything else that I missed? That
Move to approve the agenda with the additions and corrections.
Second.
roll call vote, please?
Smith,
Aye.
Clute,
Aye.
Gregg,
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Mayor Robish.
Aye. The City Commission adjourns to convene as the Board of Adjustments for the following public hearing. Consider a conditional use permit filed by Mar Sheffield at 610 3rd Street Southeast to operate a vacation rental home. I would ask our city planner, Barry Cranston, to explain this to us.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Yes, Mara Sheffield has filed an application. We had made recommendations that she engage in the rental inspection program, which she has done. And then the other requirement that we wanted to see was we wanted to have her have the state licensing requirements, both from Department of Health and there's a second agency there. Off the top of my head, I don't remember,
Okay.
but anyway, she has fulfilled all those recommendations, and so we had no one in opposition of it, and in fact, she had somebody with her in support of it, so we recommend approval.
Okay.
Make a motion to approve. Second.
Second, any questions or concerns? Yes, Commissioner Braddock.
So just a little clarification, so these go on the rental list, but then are Airbnbs, is it only because it's multifamily? You know, because I think there are multiple Airbnbs in town already.
Yes, there are 4 or 5 now, I think.
But so do they all go through this process, or is it just because this one's in multifamily?
Yeah, they're all conditional uses usually.
Okay, good question. Roll call vote, please.
Smith,
Aye.
Clute,
Aye.
Gregg,
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Mayor Robish.
Aye. The Board of Adjustment adjourns to reconvene as the City Commission. Thank you, Mr. Cranston. Moving on to public forum. Public forum is limited to a maximum of 3 minutes per person. Please state your name and address for the record. Anyone here in the audience for public forum? If not, I think Commissioner Clute has some stuff for us.
I do. Thank you, Mayor. I would just like to remind the community that the Huron Association has invited everyone to come out to their annual soccer tournament, July 4th through the 6th, out at the soccer fields. There's always a huge attendance and lots of yummy food. So just want to make that announcement and encourage everyone to attend, among all the other festivities we have going on this week.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Moving on to consent agenda. Matters appearing on the consent agenda are expected to be non-controversial and will be acted upon by the commission at one time without discussion unless a member of the commission requests an opportunity to address any given item. Items removed from the consent agenda will be discussed at the beginning of the formal items. Tonight, we have 6.1 minutes of June 23, 2025, 6.2 fuel quotes for city departments, 6.3 personnel items. Number 1, acknowledge that Daniel Copeland, Administrative Assistant Scale Operator in the Solid Waste Department, has completed his 60-day probationary period effective May 10th, 2025, as required with his classification and change. 6.3.2 is wage correction for Damon Winiger on the golf maintenance. 6.4, special on sale alcohol permit filed by Sportsman's Bar to sell alcohol outside on July 3rd from 4:30 p.m. to midnight. And 6.5 is alcohol consumption permit for July 3rd from 4:30 to midnight for downtown Huron celebration. 6.6, street closing for downtown Huron on July 3rd for downtown Huron celebration. And 6.7, payment of the bills.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Clute.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Mayor Robish.
Aye. Moving on to bid quote items, 7.1, consider pay request number 3 for TLC Olson Construction for lift station improvements, bid number 2024-05 in the amount of $282,483.92. Assistant Engineer Dennis Bennett, do you have some insight on this?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mayor, Commissioners. This is a payment for the lift station at 12th and Kansas Northeast. They got it installed, it just needs programming and finished up, and recommend approval.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any questions for Dennis on this? Roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Clute.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Mayor Robish.
Aye. Moving on to 7.2, consider award bidding number 2025-04 for Wable Drive sanitary sewer replacement to Menning Excavating Incorporated in the amount of $230,603.19. Again, Mr. Bennett.
Thank you, Mayor. This for sanitary sewer main, we discovered that changes size and is in tough shape, and it needs replaced. We had $300,000 budgeted for this project and recommend approval, or asking permission to go to bid, excuse me. No, recommending approval.
Awarding the
yes.
bid.
Move to approve, awarding the bid.
Second.
Any questions?
Mayor, if I may.
Yes, sir.
Dennis, with that being about 70,000 less than what the budgeted amount was, has something changed from when we did the budget to now? Have prices going down?
Came
or-
in cheaper than we expected.
Yeah,
You know, it's kind of a ugly area. It's on the side hill by the picnic shelter up there.
yeah.
And we estimated that'd be a little tougher, but came in lower than we expected for the bid, so.
Yeah, it's good to see. I mean, it's a good thing. I just didn't know if something in the scope of the project changed or,
Nope.
okay. Good, thank you.
Yep.
All right. Roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Clute.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Mayor Robish.
Aye. And moving on to 7.3, consider awarding bid number 2025-24, Jersey Avenue Drainage Improvements to Vanderpool Drainage Incorporated in the amount of $227,427.80. One last one here, Dennis.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Yeah, this came in well under our projected 540,000 bid. This bid was about 98,000 under the next highest bid. Made some phone calls, and there are people out there think they're competent, so recommend awarding.
Motion to approve.
Second. By the way, I like the way you shop.
Any other questions, comments?
I'd just like to be clear, she was not talking about his fashion sense.
Maybe.
Dennis, are these the same guys that did the shooting range, or not?
That could be. This company has never worked for the city of Huron as a prime contractor. They've been a sub on several projects, but I think that was Vanderpool Dragline, now you mentioned that.
It's an old company with new blood, I believe.
I believe it's a nephew,
Yes.
yes.
So, yeah, they do very well, but, yeah. Okay, roll call vote.
Smith.
Aye.
Clute.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Mayor Robish.
Aye. Moving on to petitions and communications. 8.1 semi-annual update from People's Transit, and we have tonight with us Gail Clute, the boss. So if you want to come on up and give us an update, that'd be great.
Thank you for the opportunity to give you guys an update on People's Transit. I'm Gail Clute, I'm the Executive Director of People's Transit. I think, as all of you know, we have 8 new buses out on the road right now. 6 of them are propane powered and 2 of them are gas powered. And we also have a grant in the hopper for 2 more buses. And so once we get that paperwork, we're gonna have to decide if we're gonna continue to go propane or gas with those buses. But just so you know, the cost of a bus has gone from $80,000 to $160,000. And so that's just the way the world is right now. Got some exciting news. People's Transit is huge on partnering and coordinating and cooperating with so many agencies in town. And because of our connection with the preschool partnership in town, we have been in contact with Head Start in Huron. Head Start is no longer going to be providing transportation for their children. We are going to be providing transportation for the Head Start children, which actually equates to over 15,000 rides, which starting in September through May. So that is so exciting for us, because not only does that, you know, look good as far as our numbers, but it helps us as hopefully, you know, seeing that our growth, we need more funding, you know, from DOT, from FTA, all that kind of stuff. So super excited about that partnership and being able to provide that transportation to those kiddos who really, really need to go to Head Start and get that piece, you know, of their early learning. What that also equates for us is we're gonna have more drivers, we're gonna have more buses out on the road. That's just part of that growth as well. We're figuring at least 2 more full-time drivers with that. In addition, we are in the process of writing a grant with the help of Mary Liz Stotts with the USDA. We have to have certain child restraint systems in our buses to provide the transportation for these Head Start kiddos, because it's a federally funded program. And so we're in the process of writing a grant for 45 aftermarket super special child restraint systems that we can put in our buses so we can provide the transportation for those kiddos legally. I think you've also seen the buses that are going around the city as well. We had to come up with a new idea to generate matching funds. And so we're selling advertising on the buses. And our newest one that hit the road today is the Huron Community Campus bus, which we're really excited about. And so any of the buses that have advertising on them, that revenue is generated annually. And so that's gonna help us, you know, build those matching funds so we can access our federal dollars. Do want to draw your attention to the first page of the handout that I gave you. Just want to update you a little bit on where we're standing with our FY25 budget. And at the bottom, you can see there's a $405,000, $56.21 number. Okay, what we wanted was the $576,000 in 5311 funds. What we got was the $405,000 awarded to us. Also, the state funds, we wanted $78,000, we got $69,000. What this really says is that we are gonna run out of federal funds. And in fact, I believe June, we are gonna run out of federal funds, federal matching funds. That means for the months of July, August, and September, we are not gonna get any reimbursement. Any of those dollars that we spend, you know, primarily for fuel, wages, those types of things, we are not gonna get matching funds back. And so with our 5311 funds, the $405,000, that hurts us. But, you know, we will survive. Just wanted to give you an idea of the matching funds that we do have to come up with for 2005. That's at the bottom at $215,000, $215,528.98. That's our local match. That comes from City of Huron, Beetle County, United Way, contracts that we have, Medicaid funding, or Medicaid billing, those types of things. And so that's the amount of money that People's Transit has to raise just to access that $405,000. On the back, on the second page, just want to give you an idea of what we've requested for FY '26. And if you don't go down to the bottom right-hand side, it's not a lot of difference from the FY '25 budget, just simply because we didn't get a lot of matching, we didn't get our entire matching funds for FY '25. We're not gonna get them all for '26, so there's really no reason to throw all that money out there. But this is what we've asked for, is $575,008.82 to help us as far as our 5311 federal funding. Don't know when we're going to hear about that. Hopefully by October, because that is our fiscal year. So just want to give you an idea of where we're at as far as our funding and what we're doing as far as People's Transit. Do you guys have any questions?
Gail, thank you. On Head Start, did they have their own busing system then prior to the old school buses? Is that how they were getting the kids around?
They had buses that were compliant with the child restraint and all that kind of stuff. The thing is, as a public transit, we can't designate certain buses just for Head Start kids. We have to be all-inclusive. We have to incorporate rides. So we didn't even consider leasing or renting their buses, because that would have been in violation of the FTA rules that we have to follow. Because even though we are taking 5 or 6 or 7 or 8, whatever, Head Start kiddos in the morning, we still have to be available for other people utilizing public transit.
So all the buses in the route will have that security or safety
Correct.
component?
Correct. Yep.
Is that also part of your projected shortage, or to retrofit those?
No, that's going to come with that USDA grant.
Oh, that's right, yeah, you
Yeah,
mentioned that.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
65%, you know, if we are awarded it, 65% would be our responsibility, 35% would be paid for by the USDA.
You said you had 6 buses?
We have 6
Eight.
propane.
6 propane and 2 gas, so
Correct.
you have 8. So, and you said they're all new, but how new are they?
Within a year.
They are all,
Oh,
okay, that's great.
yeah,
Good for you.
How's the propane working out?
really well. Really well, yeah.
Is the cost, did you see the cost because of the propane or because of just inflation?
We get better mileage with the propane, and, you know, our fuel cost is less because of the propane,
Mhm.
so.
But I meant the cost of the bus.
Not a lot of difference.
Oh.
And then one of the things that we have done with all of the new buses is I kind of went out on a limb and we put in a system called Liquid Spring, which is a system that's on the back 2 wheels, and it's a system that makes it ride smoother. And, you know, there's studies out there, and I do know for a fact that with this Liquid Spring suspension system, it's gonna help the buses last longer. because of the bumps and stuff in the road, it's easier on the buses, but
Yeah.
we've had passengers tell us that they don't like riding on the older buses that are out there anymore because the new ones are so nice, and even the drivers are really happy with them.
Then you can put a barbecue grill to the.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think we should have a city commission meeting on a bus.
There you
There
go.
you go.
Let's do it.
Gail, I assume, don't want you to have 7,000 compared to the number you added. Is that because the 5311 funds were lower, so then therefore the match
Correct.
is lower?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, anything else? I did see that new bus out there this morning. Yeah.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I did.
Great.
So did
Doug's-
I.
Doug's picture on it?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Mark just wrapped that this weekend.
Yep, okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Gail.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Gail.
You're welcome.
All right, moving on to 8.2, consider Civic Plus renewal agreement for the city's Beehive GIS asset management software and authorize the mayor to sign. And I have Chad sitting back in the room hiding. He said he would come out, so come on out, Chad.
Dennis has this too.
Hmm? Oh, did I steal your thunder again?
I didn't hear what you were asking.
Oh.
Yeah, I gotta just stop.
Yeah.
I think Brett put this one together, our city engineer. This is a request for our new agreement with Beehive. Beehive is our GIS service that Dennis and the water department use to track what's in the ground everywhere and what repairs are being done. So it's kind of asset management as far as valves, line, and all of that goes. Was a company out of Nebraska, but now Civic Plus, who is our web vendor, purchased them last year. They've revamped it, and this is the new agreement for services from them. And of course, at a higher cost.
Yeah, I'm just gonna note that there's an additional $5,418 that comes with that, that would have to come from reserves, general fund reserve. Contingencies.
Do you know with the acquisition, is there new services? I mean, I know.
There is, so originally when it was with Beehive, we hosted everything in-house. And it was limited to PC access. Well, now that Civic Plus owns it, it is cloud-based. We actually don't need the data here anymore. And they also have mobile management, so any tablet, Android, iOS, anything works with it. So if they're out and about, the guys can pinpoint anything or look something over that's not right with a contractor, and like, no, that needs to be over here a little bit more, that kind of stuff.
I know we looked into using that for some of the tree plotting for the emerald ash borers, and Beehive was not practical at the time, so I didn't know if.
I don't know if trees would work with this either. It's a change and there's some growing pains going on. But we're working through those right now. 6 months down the road, maybe, but right now, no.
Okay. I guess we need
I'd move to,
there you go.
Second.
Okay, any other questions for Chad before he leaves, or Dennis?
If I may.
Yes, sir.
Is there any competing alternatives for that service?
Brett is actively looking at those. I don't know, it's gonna take, we're gonna have to do this for at least a year, and see if we find something
Yeah.
compatible or equal to. But changing all the data over and stuff is gonna be a bear.
that's the problem. They kind of own you.
Yeah.
Because you've entered everything in. And a new software is a massive changeover to bring all that data over.
Because right now on the Beehive system, say the sewer in front of your house, you have a question, I can click on it and bring up the video of the sewer, if we have a video of that. See what the sewer condition is and stuff. Might be 5 years old, 10 years old, but we can still see what it looked like then. Getting all that switched over is gonna be a task.
Sure. Yeah, the data portion of it.
Yep.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Let's have a roll call vote.
Smith,
Aye.
Clute,
Aye.
Bragg,
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Mayor Robish.
Aye. Moving on to 8.3, consider approval of a quit claim deed to Greater Huron Development Corporation for lots 1A and 1B and 3A and 3B of Southtown Second Edition, Block 1A, part of the northwest quarter of Section 18, Township 110 North, Range 61, west of the 5th PM, City of Huron, Beetle County, South Dakota. So now that we all know where we're at, let's have Mr. Cranston explain this to us.
This is simply a couple of quick claim deeds for these lots to enable Greater Huron to put some spec homes on them.
Okay.
They'll be a little different style than what's down there today. They run deeper into the lots versus running more landscape style. So these are meant to be a little bit different. It's my understanding there was some breakdown with South Dakota Housing that they had a couple extras from a different customer, and so Greater Huron stepped in and picked them up, and so that's good. These two lots are located on Idaho, excuse me. 1A and 1B actually is on the corner of Idaho and Firehouse Lane. And then just south of there is Greater Huron's other duplex that they had just recently sold, and then 3A and 3B is just to the south of that.
It's kind of a blue duplex right
Right.
across from Jefferson Village.
Right.
These are on either side of it, if you're familiar.
Right.
Okay. I would entertain a motion, I guess.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any questions? No? So when you said different setbacks, they won't be, and I know you're not the head of this deal, I guess you're filling in a little bit, I guess, but they won't be, like you said, their duplex that was there already,
Mhm.
they won't break the line of,
No, their setbacks, I've already done the site location for the houses, and their site location will match the variance that was passed in years previous.
okay.
So
So we-
these are governor's homes.
Yeah.
And one of the concerns as that neighborhood gets governor's homes placed in it is there's been a, attempt to do different siding, different colors, different roof lines on the garages. And so the governor's homes come in two different styles. There's more of a longer range style, where it sits that way on the lot. These ones sit more long and narrow on the lot with the garage next to it. So same amount of square footage, it's just how the house is oriented. And so it's purely just to try to break up the look in that neighborhood and not have the houses look too similar.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay, I like that idea, but, okay. All right, roll call vote.
Smith,
Aye.
Clute,
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Mayor Robish.
Aye. 8.4, consider the approval of the quitclaim deed to the Greater Huron Development Corporation for the lots just on the other side. I guess I'm not gonna read all those numbers, because they're pretty much the same thing, and this
Yep.
is the same.
And it's the same neighborhood, it's the lot that is in between the lot 3A and 3B and Wheatgrass Village.
Right,
So they're all right next to each other
yep,
on Idaho there.
okay. Okay,
Move to approve.
Second.
any questions, comments on this? Roll call vote, please.
Smith,
Aye.
Clute,
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Mayor Robish.
Aye. 8.5, consider the approval of the police services agreement with the Corinne Association during Corinne Soccer Tournament on July 4 through 6, and authorize the chief of police to sign. And we have with us tonight the Deputy Chief Adam Dorr, but it's kind of a formality, right, Adam?
Yes, this is something that we've done for a number of years.
they're paying for their own security. and-
That's correct, they're paying for a uniformed police officer, to be present.
Sure,
Yep.
okay. Any-
Motion to approve.
Second?
Any comments, questions? Roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Clute.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Mayor Roberts.
Aye. Moving on to departmental items, city offices will be closed on July 4th for the holiday, and I'm gonna let Ms. Carey tell us about July 3rd a little bit.
Thank you, Mayor. One of the questions that we asked of the commission was that on July 3rd, could the city offices all be closed at 4 PM to allow employees who would like to attend the downtown festivities, starting at 4:30? They agreed, and so we put that on the agenda to be approved, that city offices can close at 4 o'clock.
And my understanding is every city employee committed to
They're all
being
gonna be
there.
there. Because, I told you that too, you just go.
We would like to invite everyone, as many as possible, to come down and see this, because this will be once, depending on your age, you may not see this again. So, it's coming together very well. It seems like it's sat for a long time, but there's been a lot of action down there the last 2 weeks, and it's been coming together very well. So we'd invite everybody to come down and check your local listings in your paper and listen to the radios for all the activities that they have coming up, and it'll be a nice day, it'll be a fun day. Moving on to 10.2, we'll do the solid waste collection hours again. We'll turn this over to Commissioner Clute.
Thank you, Mayor. We're wanting to get this out 2 weeks in a row because we want the community to understand the changes that occur with solid waste pickup. Beginning today, the solid waste department started their routes at 6 a.m. Earlier start is necessary due to the summer heat, which makes it difficult for the trucks to stay cool and operate efficiently during the hottest part of the day. We kindly ask all residents to please have their containers out early, before 6 a.m. or the night before, to ensure timely pickup. Additionally, for residents on the Friday route, please take note of a schedule change due to the 4th of July holiday. Since the holiday falls on a Friday, collection will be done on Wednesday, July 2nd. Again, encouraging everyone to have their containers out early that morning as well. And the solid waste department will be closed on Saturday, July 5th, allowing employees to have a long holiday. And Ben, I want to thank you for running those additional notices in the Plainsman as well. And the chamber has been sending out informational blasts too. So we'll continue to do that.
Okay, thank you. 10.3, we have a capital asset for the fire department, and with us tonight, we have our new fire chief, John Miller, and the capital asset committee met today, and John gave us some, if you want to come on up, John, he gave us some information on some gear that we are needing to outfit him with, and another one. So, go ahead, John.
Yeah, this would be, the gear for myself would be just to get me up to speed with what I need. And then we additionally have a probationary member that's coming off probation very soon. And she will need to be outfitted as well, but she'll need properly sized equipment to make sure she has what she needs. So that's what those two are for.
Okay. You can see in your packet here, you got this handed out to you before, and I know he's been in discussion with Commissioner Harvey also, and so do you have anything you need to add to that?
No, we just gotta keep everybody safe, and he needs the gear to do so.
Yep. Okay, we need a motion.
Move to approve.
Second?
Any questions for John or anyone in the capital asset?
I just want to comment that it'll be coming from Second Penny Reserves.
Okay, thank you.
And ideally, when we discussed, there's a couple other that will be coming up, but those should fit into the budget process. Obviously, we would like to handle everything we can through the regular budget process, but we had some unexpected changeover in the department, so.
Okay, yes, sir, Commissioner Smith.
Does that then stay in the inventory? Or,
That particular gear,
yeah,
so it's some of the discussion we had today. So that gear will have like a 10-year lifespan. If it's a gear that goes to a volunteer firefighter, and let's say they were to leave for whatever reason, that would go back in, it'd be usable gear, provided it fits somebody, you know, appropriately. That's one of the problems we have right now, is we have very little usable gear for other people. And then that's why we're having to size people and get them appropriate stuff. But if it's able to, yes, until the end of its lifespan.
So it's got like a 10-year lifespan,
Yep,
similar to like a Kevlar vest or
yes,
anything like that?
yep, very similar to the vest the police department are issued. So it would go back into rotation if it was still within the lifespan.
Perfect. Thanks, John.
Yep.
All right.
Thanks.
Roll call vote?
Smith.
Aye.
Booth.
Aye.
Bragg.
Aye.
Harvey.
Aye.
Mayor Robish.
Aye. All right, completing all our business for the night, I would entertain a motion to go into executive session for 12.1 and 12.2, SDCL 1-25-2, parent 4 for contractual, and 12.2 is SDCL 1-25-2, parent 6 for C for public safety.
Motion to go into executive session.